Greetings, my fellow freedom loaded sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to L3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida, and today's date is Monday, December 7th, 2020. Yes, and very late Monday. It'll be Tuesday anytime soon. And I say, what the hell? I'm going to do one more. I'm not going to be doing any rant from the beginning. So I'm just going to narrate a few articles I've just checked out. And this one here is very interesting. It's came out today, of course, by Michael Snyder, who has a website called the economiccollapseblog.com. And this one here is about a new mystery disease that causes burning eyes has already spread to hundreds of people in India. As it reads here, the outbreak of a mysterious new disease in India is creating quite a stir, because so far medical authorities have not been able to identify what is causing it. Hundreds of very sick people in the city of Eluru have been brought to the hospital, and at least one victim has already died. Unlike COVID-19, the illness seems to be hitting children particularly hard. Some of them started vomiting after complaining of burning eyes, and quite a few victims have been gripped by seizures and have been frothing at the mouth. Whatever this is, it seems pretty serious. But before you go any further, I want to make it very clear that I believe that it is a very important that we don't jump to any conclusions. Very few disease outbreaks end up developing in global pandemics. A November mystery disease that caused very ugly sores on the skin was reported in Senegal. And we were being told that more than 700 fishermen have been infected. But since that time, that outbreak appears to fizzle out. I have been searching for an official explanation for what happened to those fishermen, but so far, I have not been able to find one. The new outbreak in India could also fizzle out very rapidly, but we just don't know. But whenever a new disease comes along that the medical establishment cannot identify, it is worth watching. I believe that we have entered a period when global pestilences will become a lot more common. And so any story like this will immediately grab my attention. Initially, we are told that approximately 300 people have been affected by this new mystery disease. The following comes from CNN. Observe responsibly, of course. An unidentified illness has hospitalized more than 300 people in southeastern India, including one who has died, according to local officials investigating the cases. Patients in the city of Eluru, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, reported a range of symptoms, including seizures, loss of consciousness, and some nausea over the weekend, said Dala Jashi Roy, the district surveillance office of Eluru's West Godavari district. Subsequently, the number of victims that required hospitalization was increased to 450. Officials in India are working to identify an illness that has hospitalized 450 people with symptoms ranging from nausea and anxiety and loss of consciousness. At least one person, a 45-year-old man, has died because of the illness in Eluru, a town in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh, the Press Institute of India reported. Once someone is affected by this mystery illness, things seem to progress rather rapidly. As I noted above, a number of the victims said their eyes felt like they were burning before they began vomiting. The people who fell sick, especially the children, suddenly started vomiting after complaining of burning eyes. A medical officer at Eluru Government Hospital told the Indian Express some of them fainted or suffered bouts of seizures. Some were in critical condition when they were brought in on Saturday, but now all of them are safe. Other symptoms included anxiety, nausea, and loss of consciousness, according to AP News. So far, one 45-year-old man was admitted to the Government General Hospital in Uluru with seizures and narcolepsy, and has since died on Sunday evening. Only reported death related to the illness. In addition, there are reports that some of the victims were frothing at the mouth. The affected persons were developing fits and frothing at their mouths and collapsing. A 70-year-old woman collapsed while cooking, while a 12-year-old girl developed fits during a visit to a temple. The good news is that so far has only been one death, and a lot of victims have improved so much that they already been released from the hospital. But the bad news is that authorities have been completely unable to determine what is causing this disease. Since India is having such a problem with COVID, all of the patients were immediately tested for the virus, and all of the tests came back negative. So this new mystery disease does not appear to be related to COVID pandemic at all. Water pollution was also suspected as a potential cause, but so far all the water samples have been tested haven't revealed anything out of the ordinary. We ruled out water contamination or air pollution as the cause after officials visited areas where people fell sick. Water samples were sent to testing and no contamination was found. Blood samples of the patients have been sent to labs. No viral infection has been detected. Srinivas told the Indian Express, "It's some mystery illness and only lab analysis will reveal what it is. Hopefully there is some sort of really simple explanation and won't be even be talking about this week from now." Having said that, we should definitely be on alert for more disease outbreaks around the globe. There have been killer pandemics all throughout the world, and scientists assure us that there will be more killer pandemics in our future. In our time, the threats of pandemics is greater than ever because the top of the threat of naturally occurring pandemics, we also are facing the threat of man-made pandemics. Thanks to our advanced technology, it has become so incredibly easy to tinker around with extremely deadly bugs, and a great plague could literally be released at any moment anywhere in the world. My hope that the outbreak of this new mystery disease in India does not develop into this something larger, and so far it does not fit the profile of the sort of future pandemic that I warned about in my new book. But that does not necessarily mean that we can relax. Nobody saw Black Death coming in the Middle Ages, but it ultimately wiped out approximately 25 million people. Nobody saw the Spanish flu pandemic come either, and that killed at least 50 million. It's just a matter of time before the next great killer pandemic comes along, and we may be closer to that day than most people would dare to imagine. Very interesting. He's got a book here called The Principles, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America. Interesting indeed, because what can be the next plague, we don't know for sure. But we have to pay attention what's around us. And hopefully this illness in India will fizzle out. It's happening like everywhere. Even myself, I've been looking at some of the stuff. Even in China, another virus out there, which is not COVID, another coronavirus. It's called another virus. And it's very interesting, like, if people are getting sick from that. So, Always got to pay attention. Even the environments are around us. Certain areas get affected more than others. Pollution can be one of them. But just got to pay attention. Always be vigilant on your health. So I'm going to hit this next one here. Looks like this is from znet.com. Came out today as well. BT, looks like Bitcoin-e founder sentenced to 5 years in prison for laundering ransom funds. French prosecutors weren't able to prove that Vinnick was also involved in distribution of the Locky ransomware. And there's a video on here you can explore for your first step. A French judge has sentenced today the founder of a now defunct BTC-e cryptocurrency exchange to 5 years in prison and a fine of €100,000 for laundering funds for cyber criminals, including ransomware gangs. ZNet France reported today. Alexander Vinnick, 41, a Russian national, dodged bigger sentences after French prosecutors failed to prove that the BTC-e founder was directly involved in the creation and distribution of Locky, a ransomware strain that was active in 2016 and 2017. Mr. Vinnick, the court acquitted you of the offenses relating to the cyber attacks linked to Locky, as well as the offenses of extortion and association to criminal activities, but finds you guilty of organized money laundering, the judge said when reading the sentence. Vinnick is the center of the dispute legal battle, of course. Vinnick was trialed in Paris this fall after a long and complicated legal battle. He was initially arrested in July 2017 while vacationing in a summer resort in northern Greece. He was taken into custody by Greek police under an international warrant issued by the U.S. for his involvement in running the BTC-e, a cryptocurrency exchange, which is Bitcoin-e, exchange that Vinnick founded in 2011 together with fellow Russian national Alexander Bill. I'm probably bastarding his name here. Balachenko. U.S. authorities said Vinnick operated Bitcoin-e as a front company for a money laundering operation, knowing receiving funds from hacks and other forms of cybercrime and helping crooks cash out stolen funds into fiat currency. But Vinnick's arrest wasn't an open and shut case, and a disputed legal battle ensued. As soon as Vinnick's arrest became public, Russian authorities also filed an extradition request of their own, claiming that Vinnick was also a suspect in an investigation in Russia in relation to a 2013 $9,500 Eurodollar or $11,000 fraud charge. So there's a big claim over there as well. Details about the case remained murky, but experts in the Russian authorities were trying to bring Vinnick back home to prevent the Bitcoin-e founder from spilling secrets to U.S. intelligence. The extradition battle dragged for more than a year and got even more complicated when French authorities also filed their own request with Athens, asking Vinnick to be trialed in Paris on 14 charges related to money laundering and hacking. Vinnick's lawyers initially won their case in 2018 when the Athens court ruled to extradite Vinnick back home to Russia. However, Athens sought to find a middle ground following intense political pressure applied by both Greece's main supplier of natural gas, and U.S. NATO ally officials. Vinnick was eventually sent to France in the spring of 2020. French lawyers couldn't prove Locky involvement, but the French trial didn't pan out as French officials had hoped. ZDNet France reported that French prosecutors managed to prove only one of the 14 charges they brought, with the defendant's lawyer successfully challenging the evidence brought by Europol for VNX's involvement in cybercrime operations and malware distribution, and specifically involvement in the Lockheed ransomware operation. The Bitcoin-e founder currently remains under arrest, and both the U.S. and Russia have filed new extradition requests, with France still hoping to get VNX to face charges in their respective jurisdictions, while Russian authorities are investigating VNX in the case of $11,000 in fraud. U.S. authorities said that VNX's Bitcoin-e platform helped criminals launder more than $4 billion in illegal funds. Following VNX's arrest, the Black Hat USA 2017 Security Conference, a team of security researchers said that before Bitcoin-e went down, the platform had helped prevent 95% of all ransom payments into fiat currency, playing a key role in the burgeoning ransomware ecosystem. Furthermore, a group of Bitcoin experts calling themselves WizSec also published the results of an investigation that linked VNX's personal BTC-e Bitcoin accounts to the laundering of funds stolen during hacks at the Mt. Gox, Bitcoinica, and Bitfloor cryptocurrency platforms. In July 2019, the U.S. filed a separate civil lawsuit to try to claw back more than $100 million worth of Bitcoin from BTC-e and VNX account, called Bitcoin-e and BTC. So in June 2020, New Zealand authorities announced they successfully seized $90 million that they said were linked to VNX accounts. Wow, so there's a lot of thievery going on, you could say. Oh, yeah, so very interesting indeed. Wow. Ooh, sorry about that. It's had to do a yawn there, so it looks like VNX is made a lot of enemies, according to this article. We're going to find out where this adventure will go. With the United States, we'll find out, or Russia. We'll just see how far this baby goes. So, amazing, right? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do one more here. This one came from Reason. It says the school board won't reverse fourth grader suspension for BB gun incident during virtual school. It says here, Kamari Harrison is accused of bringing a BB gun to school, but he never left his home. It's by Robbie Soav. In September, Louisiana's Jefferson Parish Public Schools suspended a fourth grader, Kamari Harrison, for 6 days because he allowed a BB gun to appear briefly on his screen during virtual Zoom school. On Friday, the school board declined to remove the suspension from the permanent record, according to local news. They did change the 6-day suspension to a 3-day suspension plus 3 unexcused absences, which was entirely unacceptable to Harrison's father, who stormed out at the end of the lengthy meeting. Good grief! So it's like the same thing. He was suspended. Technically, he was still suspended for 6 days. That's what these idiots think. They all think we're just a bunch of morons here, right? Okay, the Woodmere Elementary fourth grader said he was moved the BB gun so his brother didn't trip on it when the teacher during a virtual classroom session. The Harrisons have argued their home is not an extension to Kamari's classroom. The school system has stood its ground and refused to change its record. That happened even after a new law was passed and named Kamari's honor to deal with similar situations. Are you aware you're suspended because you brought a BB gun to school? Chelsea Casamano, the Harrison family attorney, asked Kamari as he testified during the hearing. I didn't bring my BB gun to school, he answered. The school board member Simeon Dickerson, a former teacher, asked Narian Harrison, Curry Murray's father, to think on how his teacher felt seeing a gun on her computer screen. I know what a BB gun looks like, and you know what it resembles. A real gun, okay? It resembles a real gun, Dickerson says. I wrote about this story in September, and it is outrageous today as it was then. Bringing a fake gun to school is not all the same as briefly and accidentally allowing a fake gun to be glimpsed on a computer screen. During these difficult and stressful times for parents and families, the last thing schools should be doing is inflexibility, applying overly punitive rules. The pandemic is no excuse to broaden the public school system zones of authority into people's homes. And I have to agree with that. It's totally acidine. And that school system should be ashamed of themselves for being pathetic. Their little power-hungry game is nothing more than a pimple on my rear end. And I say that out of love, all right? Totally unacceptable. They all think the parents there are all a bunch of morons. Please. That's what happens. We have a bunch of hacks trying to run our lives. And even for Kamari Harris. Totally ludicrous. Yeah. Hopefully everyone at Woodmere Elementary with their viral schooling is real proud. Look what we achieved. Yay! Well, all I gotta say, they need to look into a mirror because they got no honor or integrity. Just a bunch of tyrannical stooges as far as I'm concerned. So, hey, all you folks out there in Louisiana or Jefferson Parish, start calling these people out the next school board meeting and ridicule them because you know why? They get what they deserve. Shame on them. That will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, if you say something that's interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Quorum. Furthermore, I'll leave these footnotes on my speaker page. And if you want to contact me, you can hit me at lookyluck3@gmail.com or lookyluck03@protonmail.com. And support the sites. Support Mr. Snyder. And ZDNet and Reason.com. Or if you send me some contributions, you can hit me at paypal.me/lookyluck3. Once again, thank you for your time. Please always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on, spread the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.